At least 20 American service members were killed in Afghanistan in 2019, the highest casualties since NATO military operations, and the country ended at the end of 2014. The deaths came as Washington held direct peace talks with the Taliban, aimed at ending the war, the U.S. longest throughout most of the year. In early September 2019, Washington's peace envoy Zalmay Khalilzad announced he had made significant breakthroughs on peace talks with Taliban.
If the conditions as stated in the agreement proceed, within 135 days we will abandon our 5 U.S. military bases where our forces are stationed there.
Several days later, President Trump tweeted that he would meet with Taliban delegation in Washington, but a few days later he called off scheduled talks.
We had peace talks scheduled a few days ago. I called them off when I learned that they had killed a great American soldier from Puerto Rico and 11 other innocent people. They thought they would use this attack to show strength, but actually what they showed is unrelenting weakness. The last 4 days, we have hit our enemy harder than they have ever been hit before, and that will continue.
President Trump visited American troops in Afghanistan in late November. The U.S. has about 12,000 troops in Afghanistan, but the president says the U.S. drawdown will not affect U.S. operations in the region.
And at the same time, we're bringing down the number of troops substantially, but we're able to, because of the weaponry and all of the things that we have in place, we can do actually more damage with even fewer troops.
U.S. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper a few days later said political settlement is only way to end war in Afghanistan.
Doesn't mean we'll take any deal, but we want to make sure we have a good deal, a good enough deal that guarantees at least the security of our countries going forward and a brighter path ahead for the Afghan people than the trajectory we're currently on.
Amid news of possible drawdown, U.S. Senator Lindsey met Afghan President Ghani and political leaders in Kabul and said that the Taliban cannot be trusted to be a reliable counter-terrorism force.
It needs to be clear that our presence in Afghanistan will continue, and our goal is to withdraw our forces based on conditions that would warrant withdrawal.
Another American lawmaker is worried the Taliban is more interested in announcing a deal than actually ending the war in Afghanistan.
One of my bigger concerns is that the Taliban right now is using this peace deal as a propaganda victory. They are saying we've won. We outweighed the Americans. The Taliban leadership are telling their fighters just a few more years and all of the Americans will be gone.
But in the last 2 weeks of 2019, as the U.S. and the Taliban failed to reach an agreement, the Trump administration began announcing that the withdrawal of the U.S. troops from Afghanistan is no longer tied to reaching an agreement with the Taliban. The Trump administration is expected to announce plans to withdraw about 4,000 troops from Afghanistan in near future. Mohammed Ahmadi for VOA.